Guys, this is what we're waiting for. So we have the ISO20022 migration for Swift is taking place in March. They're already talking about it. Check this one out. This is a tweet here from Swift. Exciting era for cross-border payments as ISO20022 standard is globally introduced in March of 2023. BNY Mellon. Oh, there's that name again. BNY Mellon's Isabel Schmidt shares benefits for banks and customers with Swift's Stephen Lindsay at Sibos. And so you're seeing it now, Swift putting out a lot of these tweets actually, and they're talking about this date. Don't be expecting the pump. I'm going to tell you guys right now, I wouldn't be expecting the pump to be taking place on this date, okay? There's still a lot to be cleaned out in this space, but as we start to see this rollover, I think that we are building up here for the utility run that we've been waiting for. Now check this out. Swift has verbally confirmed the implementation of ISO 20022 in a few short weeks. Let me play this clip.
Thank you, Robin. Great to be part of the conversation. My name is Kevin O'Neill, and I lead Swift's activities in Canada. For those of you who don't know Swift, we're a financial utility across the globe and also in Canada, across all types of transactions that include securities, foreign exchange, trade, and of course, payments. The team works across the Canadian community, covering corporates, financial institutions, and of course, we have a close relationship with Payments Canada to implement our clients' plans and also their external facing activities. Thanks, and look forward to the discussion.
Kevin.
Guys, you have to support all of them, and you need to support all of them in a rich and robust way. Christine talked about what happens when something goes wrong. It's always easy to talk about the happy path, but you also have to be able to be ready for worst case scenarios. And I think the industry has done a lot for that. In 2023, I think the biggest thing that we'll see, and it's hard to say here 6 weeks away from the ISO general go live and not talk about ISO being a major kind of watershed event in the global industry. You'll have Europe, you'll have all of the cross-border space kind of mass adopting. Obviously, Links phase 2 here in Canada is a significant milestone, and it's the start of a journey, right? So, it's a 3-year coexistence period for the Swift community that will continue to learn and grow on. Beyond that, driving adoption of tools, payment pre-validation, Swift Go, and making them more widely available to reduce those frictions and to streamline payments. I like what Christine said earlier, not every payment has to be instant. You have to be prepared to support instant, but if you're under attack and all the things that Sean talked about from a fraud perspective, you may want to slow things down a little bit if you're a large corporate and you feel you're under that type of attack, right? So that payment certainty, I think, regardless of the type of payment, you want to know when, you want to know how much it's going to cost. And there are other characteristics that will be important to you, making sure that you're connected to be able to pay anyone, right? It's not a technology challenge, it's a regulatory and compliance challenge. And I think that's regardless of the type of payment. And the last thing I'll say is here in 2023, it's definitely already been a journey. Over the last several years, the industry has really raised the bar on security, on payment tracking, and now richer data as we move forward. So looking forward to great things in the community 2023 and beyond.
Yeah, so he describes it as a watershed moment. So I mean, I would be pleasantly surprised if they did send it. Maybe they would send it before March, right? I don't have my hopes up. I just need to see a lot. Maybe the crypto space can get cleaned up and we can get regulations over the next month. A settlement in the SEC lawsuit, that would be a big watershed moment for XRP and Ripple, absolutely. But once again, he describes it as a watershed moment. And you just think of that visualization, right? You think about that liquidity. It's opening up and it's just going to keep on coming from here, right? So he calls it, he basically describes the 3-year process, right? Calls it a watershed moment. And he says it's not the tech. The tech isn't the problem. It's the regulatory challenge, okay? And we're starting to see the SEC wants to make their push. That's fine. That's fine. We've invested in assets and utility projects that have done things the right way. We're not worried about that. We're not worried about the SEC's case against our cryptos, right? And we've invested accordingly for that watershed moment of utility coming into DLT, coming into this tech. As he said, this tech ain't the problem. It's the regulatory challenge, okay? But we're seeing that breakthrough. We're seeing Swift go live. This is a 3-year rollout process. Are we going to be at 5-digit XRP in March? No. Okay, maybe, but I'm not hanging my hat on that one. 5 digits maybe at some point. I do think it is possible. I know that offends some. I know the thought police don't allow us to say that. I do believe in incredible things happening on distributed ledger technology, and I'm talking about trillions of dollars being settled daily, trillions being settled daily, and quadrillions of dollars worth of value that has to be poured into DLT. You can do the math. We go somewhere very interesting. I am your host, Zach Rector. I really appreciate all of the love and support. If you want to support the channel, just remember that you can start by smashing that thumbs up for me, sharing this content far and wide, and everything else is at my website.